Alrighty guys, we're back for some zombies, and this is a Streets of New Capenna standard build. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some normal play mode. Now, first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat, and I play aggro decks, and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. I'm counting this deck as an aggro deck, but we'll see, right? I don't think it's mid-range, and it's definitely not control, so I really don't know. I'm just counting it as aggro. Either way, what do we have in the build here? We have 4 Champion of the Perished and 4 Shamble Buddies. Now, we obviously know Shamble Buddy, but Champion of the Perished, maybe you don't see that often because, I don't know, I run into zombies like 1 out of every, 150 matches, so it's a 1-drop 1/1. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Perished. Okay, sweet. Very good card. Very simple card, too. We have 4 Tainted Adversaries. Now, you might see this more often than like a Champion of the Perished because it fits into other builds that aren't necessarily zombie builds too, but I'm going to go over it real quick anyways. The 2-drop 2/3 Death Touch. Death Touch seems to be like one of those things that's going to be pretty important with like the rise of mid-range, right? There's always like these big old chunky creatures that are really hard to kill, and now we can just chump them with a Death Touch creature, right? So when it enters the battlefield, you can pay 3 any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on Tainted Adversary. Then create twice that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed. So that's pretty cool, and it also plugs a lot more counters into your Champion of the Perished too. So think of this as a 2-drop, but it could also be a 5-drop, and it could also be an 8-drop or an 11-drop, but I've never seen anyone pay 11 mana for any of these adversary cards. So yeah, we have a couple Tenacious Underdogs. Man, I wish this was a zombie, but it's not, unfortunately. It would make sense, right? Like blitzing it out from the grave and stuff. It would totally make sense if this was a zombie. But yeah, it's also just too good not to include in here, and it works with a lot of the other cards too. And of course the 3 Meathooks, because, you know, Meathook, yeah. Yeah, I'm disappointed too, guys, honestly. We have 3 Geralf of Rivia here. Now, this is a 3-drop 1/4. Zombies you control have flying. Wow, that's actually just really freaking cool, isn't it? Like, could you imagine having a full board of zombies in a locked down board state, and you're just like, you know what, the board state's not locked down anymore because I'm actually just going to fly in and win this turn, right? Super spicy card. It is legendary though, and you have the it's definitely worth the splash of blue in here, by the way. So you have the tap a blue, tap it, sacrifice another non-token creature, create an XX blue zombie creature token where X is the sacrificed creature's toughness. So that's pretty cool, and it works with cards like Tenacious Underdog, where you can sacrifice this, get a 3/3 zombie, which also has flying because Geralf is on the board, right? Then you can eventually just blitz this back out at some point and maybe sacrifice it again, right? I don't know how much mana you got at that point, but yeah, pretty cool there, I guess. We have 4 Headless Riders. Whenever Headless Rider or another non-token zombie you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. This card's just really powerful, and there are going to be moments where you have multiple of these out there, and like a control deck just can't keep up with these, right? They drop a Doomscar and you just get a whole bunch of 2/2s and win the next turn, right? Like, it's just a really cool card. We have 2 Agadeem's Awakenings because I think bringing some of these zombies back from the grave is going to be pretty good, but also like, yeah, for like 6 mana, bringing a Headless Rider, a Tainted Adversary, and a Champion of the Perished back all on one turn just seems kind of ridiculous, right? But other times you're just going to play it as land, and it's probably going to come out as land more often than you would think, right? So real quick, I'll read the card though. So return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have a different mana value, X or less. So yeah, like I said, 6 mana, bring back a 3-drop, a 2-drop, and a 1-drop. Sounds pretty sick, right? In our 4-drop spots, we have 4 Body Launderers. So another non-zombie in the build, but I think it's going to be pretty sick here. So 4-drop 3/3, Death Touch. Again, more Death Touch creatures. I think Death Touch is going to be pretty important though. Whenever another non-token, it's funny, non-token is kind of a theme in here, isn't it? Non-token creature you control dies, Body Launderer connives. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? And when you connive, of course, you draw a card, discard a card. If you discarded a non-land, you plug a +1/+1 counter into this, which is actually pretty sweet, right? When Body Launderer dies, return another target non-rogue creature card with equal or lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So even if you don't get the +1/+1 counters on this from the connive, this hits everything except for Ebondeath, a Dracolich, which we do have a couple of in here because it is a zombie, and it's a pretty spicy one too. So a 4-drop 5/2, flash, flying, Ebondeath, enters the battlefield tapped, so that's no matter what, right? Even if you were to bring this back with a 5-power Body Launderer that died, it still enters the battlefield tapped, so... you may cast Ebondeath from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebondeath died this turn, which is just kind of pretty good, right? Like, for example, when you connive with this, discarding an Ebondeath is no problem. You just discard this because you can always just recast it from the grave, so that's pretty spicy, right? On the top end here, we have Invoke Despair, which somehow just ends up being a great control card, but also just a really aggressive card, too. Because... holy cow, does this just plug damage into the opponent, and especially an opponent that just hasn't played a lot in a game, like control decks and stuff? Like, they might only have like an enchantment on the board or something ridiculous, right? You just plugging that damage in and drawing cards while you're at it, which is going to be pretty important for a deck like this. In the mana base, we are rocking a Soaring City. I'm not sure if you just want to play an island instead. You totally could. I wanted to do the Soaring City to have like another blue ability in the deck other than the Geralf, right? We have a couple Hives, an Abandoned Mire, and of course our dual land to make sure we can actually cast this on time. Also, the treasure off the Shamble Buddy might be pretty important to cast the Geralf too, right? Alright guys, hopefully I didn't take too long to go over a simple zombie build, because I really do think it's going to be a simple one. I don't think there's going to be a lot of tough decisions, honestly, but yeah. Let's go ahead and hop into some normal play mode and see how it goes. Oh, the server, it's slow today, guys. That's why I didn't outrace the intro. Yes, totally. It's just really laggy. That's what it is. I know what I got to do. I got to make an intro that's just 2 seconds longer. That's what I got to do. Then I'll always be able to outrace it. Wow, this is a slow hand. Keeping it. I'm keeping it, darn it. Oh, good draw. Very good draw. Let's go. All right, now we just need to get a 2-drop out here, right? Invoke Despair. That's a good, yeah, that's a 2-drop. Let's go. Yeah, let's just play the Shipwreck. We have nothing else to play. What do you guys think the opponent's playing? They had a slow start too. I'd say that's pretty lucky for us, but their ramp is probably going to be more important than whatever I got over here. I'm going to keep the Geralf back. We're going to try to get more damage through here. And I think... okay, Chariot comes down. Yeah, so this is where the flying comes in handy. Like, big time, right? Oh, nice. We're going to be able to do the Invoke Despair next turn. Body Launderer is pretty good to slam on the board, but I want to opt for more damage. So that's what we're going to do. We're going for the damage, guys. So that's stuck probably because of the crew 4 on the Chariot. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'd say we got pretty good draws overall. Making sure we got the mana to play every single turn is pretty important. Wow! Whoa! Okay, alright. Yeah, no, I was thinking like this was going to be ramp because of the Stomper, but this is mono green. And this is scary. Guys, I think we're going to die. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the power of Chariot too. Whoa. This is not what I was anticipating. Okay, well, look at all the look at all the cards the opponent has. Oh no. Invoke Despair could still be pretty good because we're hitting 5 here. This is gonna do 4. It's not enough. We need more blockers. But if they drop like another Ulvenwald, like we're just like super dead. I think we're just gonna still play the Invoke Despair, as awkward as it is. No, Body Launderer is... I could have saved the Mire back if I was just playing Body Launderer though. Oh, this is tough. This is a really tough decision, guys. If we save blockers and they have the 7th land, it's just like over. Alright, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to survive. And we have a decision to make with Geralf next turn too. Because you can use its ability as an instant, so... Oh man. Ah, geez, guys, I don't know. We could have been aggressive, but then we probably die next turn. So, like, Ren and 7. Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. Yeah, I'd say that's a nail in the coffin if I've ever seen one. Now, we could draw, like, a Meathook, but I'm not going to rely on that, especially since Meathook doesn't hit the Tree Folk, and we actually don't have enough mana here to Meathook for 4 anyways, so... Okay, so the good news is we can take out the Chariot this turn. And yeah, since they hit the 7... Guys, can we talk about this? Stomper? Green, right? Mono green with Stomper? And of course the Renin 7 with the Chariot. Like, that's just so cool, man. I love this mono green build. It looks really powerful. Holy cow. Alright. So we block here, right? We block here. That's 8 damage coming in. No. Yeah, we gotta block here. And we're forced to block the Stomper. And now it's 8 damage coming in, right? Man, that is rough. Unless we want Geralf to die. I was going to use his ability, but like, I'd rather just trade with some of their creatures, right? Except it doesn't trade with the Stomper, so we can kill that. Okay. So commit the blockers. And then activate this to get a 2/2 back, right? And what that ends up doing is it makes it so that way once the Body Launderer dies, we can bring one back. Do we want to discard? Yeah, we might as well. No. Yeah. We're forced to discard regardless. We're not going to discard the Champion of the Parish, so... I guess if there were different blocks there, we could have actually tried to save the Launderer, right? When it dies, return, so we're going to return Headless Rider. Okay, like this, right? So, Headless Rider comes back. This is tough. This is, you really got to think about this. Oh, the Swamp might come in handy if we draw Meathook, though. Alright, I'm going to discard the other Body Launderer. As awkward as that is, the Swamp might come in handy if we draw Meathook. I don't think it will because of these 7/7s, but... Okay, well, we're alive somehow, and we have quite the board here. But we got to see a lot of cool things, like the main reason I added Body Launderer to the list, right? That was pretty sick. Let's go with our Swamp. Let's go Invoke Despair. Wait. Oh, yeah, they have Reach right here. I got excited for a second, but... Invoke Despair. Wait, 1, 2, 3. If they don't know this is hitting in, the Ren, they're only taking 2 from the Despair regardless, so yeah. Yeah, Ren's gone. One of their 2/2s is gone. We drew another land. Do we have enough blockers on the ground? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Darn it, guys. Yeah, they went wide enough to survive here. So we're just going to go ahead and swing in. It's the opponent. Well, I'll block. Maybe they don't see it. They definitely see it, though. This was a tough game, guys. This was a tough one, but I really loved the opponent's version of mono green. It's pretty sick, right? We'll go you. Yep. Get the pack leader. Then we go you. And then we chump and good game opponent. Very spicy. That was a good first match, guys. We got to see our deck do a little bit of something too. I probably could have played that out better overall, right? Like, yeah, like we didn't need to keep the swamp in hand. We could have still had a Body Launderer to play then too, and then we could have played the Body Launderer and the Champion of the Parish. No, they still would have had one extra creature because they sacrificed a 2/2 to our Invoke Despair. So I think overall that was just that was a GG. The opponent's deck was sweet. You don't see the Stomper in mono green often, and you don't see Ren and 7 on the top end of mono green anymore really either. And so, I don't know. Yeah, I just really liked that build. You guys see that version of mono green often? Because I do not. Okay, this is a better hand than the last game, because we actually have like a 2/3. The last hand was a pretty slow one. It was like a 3/4. We have enough land here to just safely not play the Awakening, I'd say. We might have to at some point, but I think we're pretty safe. Yeah, so that could be a number of things. That could be a number of things. What do you guys think? Oh, Graveyard Trespasser, no! My nemesis. It's such a good card though. Alright, Headless Rider. And I think they take 2 here. They take 2. Alright, we have Ebondeath next turn. Yeah, it's not like we want to use Awakening yet, and we might not even have a chance to use Awakening, so maybe we do just play it as a land. It depends. I'm trying to think what Rakdos plays, or this is like mono black with a splash of red for the Planeswalker, right? To Bolt. That's probably what this is, especially with the snow-covered swamp. They're rocking like the whole Blood on the Snow stuff. So what would the Foretold card be? Oh, Baleful Mastery. Nice. Nice, that's a way to do it. Yeah, there's some of that exile removal I was pretty scared about, right? So we got the other swamp, so we definitely saved the Agadeem's Awakening because we don't need 6 mana in the build necessarily. And I'd really like to play this out for 5, so it's going to be the Ebondeath, but we can do it on the opponent's turn too. They're not rocking blue in the deck, so... Although there is the nighttime issue, isn't there? There is that. I guess if we would have played it on our turn, it wouldn't be nighttime right now, so... That's okay. It's only 1 extra damage. If we die from 1 extra damage, then we know it was me switching it to nighttime. Yeah, nighttime is hard to keep track of sometimes, but it either way. Whoa, a Shakedown Heavy? Bro, apparently I just don't know what's in anyone's decks anymore. Apparently. So Ebondeath comes down, and it's gonna be nighttime, unfortunately. Tainted Adversary blocks well into both of these. We probably want to keep them both back, or do we just Invoke Despair this turn in full swing? I think it's Invoke Despair, guys. Like one of those things where, when is it not Invoke Despair, you know? I'm gonna take 4 here, we're gonna draw 2. Nice, nice. Okay. Do we take the 4? Each creature card exiled this way. They might exile their own. Yeah, I think we swing for 7. Yeah. I think we're okay to take some extra damage here, guys. We'll see, though, won't we? Like, just imagine if we top deck another Invoke Despair. So there's the Valky, which is also the Planeswalker I was talking about, Tibalt Cosmic Imposter, which is why the red is splashed here. What'd they grab? My Geralf of Rivia! No! They named a card Geralf and they didn't make a Witcher. Okay, they went ahead and got rid of the Tainted Adversary for 1 mana. They need something for this Ebondeath. Oh yeah, they get to gain 2. Oh, that's rough. Come on, Invoke Despair off the top. let's do it. Oh, Tenacious Underdog. Well, if this isn't removal, we just blitz out the Underdog and win. Let's see. Let's see it. Well, we don't win. We force a block here and drop the Tainted Adversary. We get Geralf back. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. This is scary. Okay, Hive, and then we got to play... Could play this on blue safely, I'd say. And then get the Tainted Adversary down as a blocker. Yeah, yeah, that was risky. Because we're at 5. Like, this is anyone's game. They can just remove the adversary and it's... or mana, Invoke Despair, right? Like, they could easily be running the Despairs as well. Yeah, oh, this is scary. Ooh. What? I guess this was a Grixis build. Okay, it must be splashing blue. I mean, we're splashing blue, so... That's interesting. Very interesting mana lined up over here, right? Meathook for 2? Oh, no. Oh, no. Now the Tainted Adversary doesn't trade into the Trespasser, and they get to go ahead and exile the Ebondeath. Oh, wait, what did they hit instead? Oh, they hit Tenacious Underdog. We can take the 1 here. Oh, that makes sense, because we could blitz the Underdog in and win next turn. Oh, no, guys, yeah. Oh, oh my goodness, what a top deck. If they have something for the Tainted Adversary, we might still die here. We'll see. Oh my goodness. Here's the swing. We got there! Let's go! Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, no, I could have played that one better. There's no way that I played that one optimally, but we got there. Invoke Despair is worth the 4 of in decks that can run it, right? Now, there are situations where it doesn't necessarily do what you want it to. Like, for example, against that mono green build, they went so wide, so fast with, like, the Chariot and everything, that like, Invoke Despair, them sacrificing 1 creature doesn't, like, do anything, really, you know? But that's why we have the 3 Meathooks in here, too, so... No, opponent! I had such a good lineup! Darn it! We had a 1, we had a 2, we had a 3, we had a 4. Aw, man. Well, I like to keep those in the video anyways because it showcases, like, the draws and stuff, and, like, starting hands for a deck are pretty important, you know? Like, how consistent are the starting hands? Like, the Samurai build that we did for, that would have been Sunday's video. Like, that was so consistent. I don't think we mulliganed a single time, and we got, like, 9 matches in that video, right? I don't think we mulliganed, but it had such consistent draws. Like, this isn't bad, because we could get the treasure off the Shamble Buddy for the Geralf, so... Yeah, this is fine. It's definitely not as good as the last hand, which I'm salty that I didn't get to actually play out, unfortunately, but we could draw a 2-drop here and go right into Headless Rider on 3 then, too. Circle of Confinement. Well, there goes our treasure. Geralf not coming down anytime soon. Well, I guess Shamble Buddy. I guess that works. Naya. Fable with Circle. What is this? Oh, nice. I'll wait on the blue because we're gonna go Headless Rider here and swing right into the Goblin. Or we could save it as a blocker. They either, like, we can cheese 1 damage through, or they can get their treasure token and we can potentially kill the Shaman. I guess we save it as a blocker, which kind of sucks, but okay, here we go. We get to see what the opponent's playing. Oh, never mind. They decide not to discard a single thing. Oh, it's just going to be Naya enchantments, or it might be runes with Fable. Yeah, it's runes with Fable of the Mirebreaker. Okay, is that a thing? I don't think I see Fable of the Mirebreaker often in runes. So Rune of Might onto that. We could double block. We could. But they're offering, like, they're offering the kill on the Visitor, and I think that's better, right? Whoop. Almost made a mistake there. I mean, we still could have double blocked and killed the Visitor, but I like keeping Headless Rider out there for now. And now the question is, I better get this down on blue before something happens. No, it's fine. It's fine. We're not up against discard. We're fine. We could go Tainted Adversary. Invoke Despair would be awesome this turn, so that's something to think about too. No, they probably would have discarded the Visitor. Yeah, if I would have gone Treasure off the Ghast. Okay. I guess it's blue, Geralf, and swing. Let's do it. Now we got a threat in the air, and they're going to want to get their lifelink down as soon as possible, but if they don't play another... Well, it depends. Oh, man. Oh, runes is rough. How are we going to do this? It makes a lot of sense to put Fable of the Mirebreaker in a runes build, though. It makes a lot of sense. Like, look at the value they got from that. Like, if this reflection wasn't here, imagine the Invoke Despair next turn. But now they have this to discard to the Invoke Despair. So, like, you know, it's tough. They get a treasure token. No blocks. So we got it. We have to take that out, guys. How do we hit it? How do we hit it, though? 3 mana. Uh-oh. Okay, it's just a Kami of Transience, which is probably better to sacrifice. I wonder if they hit the circle or the showdown off the Invoke Despair. Either way, I think it's Invoke Despair, because the second they get lifelink is the second it's over. So, like, we need to draw more. We need to, like, we could go Tainted Adversary, get a bunch of flying zombies, but that's not gonna last, you know? I think it's Invoke Despair. See if they hit the circle or the showdown, because I think we might get our Shamble Buddy back, which is a decent enough blocker for the 2/2s, right? Okay, it was Reflection over Kami of Transience. Yeah, so I think I would have taken the Kami of Transience, since it could have went back right into their hand, right? And I suppose for now, we keep swinging in. And maybe they just don't get the lifelink, right? Alright, so at the beginning of each end step, if an enchantment was put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you may return Kami of Transience from your graveyard to your hand. So they could have gotten rid of the... They could have recast the Kami of Transience. I guess they wanted more damage. Oh, get out of here. No, Rune of Sustenance. No, get out of here. No, we're so close. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. It's Jukai Naturalist into the Rune of Sustenance. If I've ever seen a line of play, that's the line of play, because they can plug all that. Oh, they didn't play the Naturalist first. That could have made the Rune of Sustenance cost 1 less, so then they could have played both because of their treasure. So they're gaining 4, back up to 12. We're just gonna take the 8, guys. As crazy as it sounds, because they can still play the other Kami of Transience or the Naturalist. I guess they didn't want to... Yeah, they could have done a lot more there. Wow, are they saving these treasures for something? I don't know. I don't know. It's finally time to get the Tainted Adversary down. I know that much. We need all the blockers we can get now. So, actually, this costs 3 to return something too. So if we just play this, we can get this down. If we just play this and we don't pay the extra cost, we can Soaring City for 3. And get that Kami of Transience back to their hand. We have to be careful with the trample and the +1s over here. So no matter what, we have to block, right? So we can't block with the decayed tokens. So we're going to decline. And so we might end up going Death Touch into Transience and then getting rid of whatever one has trample with the Soaring City, right? That makes sense to me. And then we still have 1 mana open for the Geralf ability too, if we want to. Okay, all right. This is actually a more complicated deck than I thought it was going to be, guys. So all they need is a little bit of removal here, which we know that these decks run. It's got to be Naturalist first, right? It's got to be. Make everything cheaper. Okay, Runeforge Champion first. Grab probably the haste, right? Man, these rune decks really know how to keep a board state going, huh? It's because Showdown of the Scalds is such a good card too that, like, if a deck can run it and get a lot of benefits from, like, the counters and everything. Okay, now they go for the Naturalist. Plugging it into the Kami of Transience tells me... Right. The trample... yeah, both of these have trample because Kami of Transience just comes with trample pre-installed, right? So we're gonna... Yeah, plug the haste into the champion. They have 4 mana still, guys. Guys, send help. They still have 4 mana. Oh, man. The reason we're waiting on Soaring City is because, yeah, okay, so all 3 of their attacking creatures now have trample, which I think is just a GG. But yeah, we're holding this back because if they plug all their eggs into one basket, like Kami of Transience has 8 counters on it right now. So the Soaring City is going to be super spicy here. Either way, I don't think we can survive all this trample. I'm not going to math it out because I plan on blocking anyways. Like, I plan on actually going through with the blocks and with the Soaring City play, so... We also get to see... They're going to full swing, right? Yeah, get the extra treasure token. Okay. So, we have 10 damage coming in. We survive here, guys. We just have to block with Geralf, unfortunately, but... So we're going to start with Soaring City. Return Kami of Transience. Because that's the big baddie and it has lifelink. Tamiyo's safekeeping. Oh, now, yeah, now we're just like really dead. Yeah, it's Tamiyo's safekeeping in a runes build. Oh, opponent. Indestructible as well. So this is like over, man. We're taking 4 damage there. 4 damage, 2 damage here. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Yeah, good game, opponent. The Tamiyo safekeeping. I think we could have blocked properly there if it wasn't the Tamiyo safekeeping. Opponent's deck really had it. Like, really had it there. Oh, man. I'm enjoying playing these zombies, though. Zombies is like... It's underplayed because it's, like, so fun. There's so many overplayed decks, it's like, why is no one running any zombies, man? You know? I also really like the addition of the Body Launderer here, and so, like, hopefully we can get one more match here where we can get the Body Launderer ability going. Because I really do think it can do a lot. Nice. These are spicy hands. These are really good hands. Like, next turn, we can go right into... I'm going to save this just in case we have to play it on blue. So we're going to get the Abandoned Mire down. See, we might have to play it on black, too, for the Invoke Despair. But we're going to play this out on black. Champion of the Perished. Shamble Buddy. Very, very powerful. Opponent! No! Come back, opponent! It was a really good line of play, but, like... Are you sure? Oh no, we had the Headless Rider too. Aw, man. Aw, jeez. I would say, like, yeah, that's one of the reasons that we could play ranked, right? They concede a lot less, but, like, this isn't necessarily the type of deck that you want to take in against the metagame. You know, you might just... It might just spoil some of the fun that you're supposed to be having by slapping zombies onto the board, you know? Whoa, okay. Okay, then. I'll take it. No blue source, but who the heck cares when you got a hand like a couple champions, right? No, opponent, no. You stop that. You stop that right now. I'm trying to showcase a deck. No, okay. Okay, it's tapped, it's tapped. We're fine. You're right, opponent. I do not accept that trade. That was a risky swing, but you were 100% correct. Next turn, if like they don't get counters on this, then Meathook for 1 is gonna happen. The problem is there's no way those don't get some counters, you know? We're just going to have to out-aggro them, and unfortunately what that means is we're going to have to somehow get around the lifelink, you know? Couple counters, Meathook for 2 is now the next step, but the problem there is there's no way these aren't going to get even more counters, you know? So I think it's going to be... Do we still just try to outrace? We could have actually... We should have played this out tapped, guys. Just a heads up there. I think we should have played the Awakening out tapped. We have enough mana, but like I was just gonna go Tainted Adversary here anyways, so if we had a chance to get this out tapped, that's probably just better. Because I think this is gonna be a fast enough game to where this isn't gonna come in handy. I think they take the 5. I don't think they trade into our 2-2. They do trade. Okay, no ramp for them. I guess that's okay, actually. That's not a terrible trade because we don't have any more zombies to buff the champions right now. A third generous visitor. Do not. No, you stop that, opponent. Spread it out. Yep. Meathook 4. Okay, good. We get a trade. Oh my goodness. This is too many generous visitors, guys. Way too many. Maybe I should have saved this as a blocker. Meathook for 2 hits this one. Okay. Okay, champion. Champion in the grave. So for 5 mana, eventually we'll get to go Agadeem's Awakening and bring back a Tainted Adversary and a champion, which could be really good. As for this turn, do we just like Meathook for 2 to get rid of this generous visitor so they don't get double the counters on everything? We might. I think it is actually. Do we swing though? That's the real question. Yes, we swing. I'm scared, guys. I'm terrified. They could easily win this turn, because that's how runes are, very explosive, but I don't think it was save a 3-3 Champion of the Perished as a blocker. I just don't think that was the play. Like, yeah, maybe it saves us, but maybe not, too. I think swinging in there to save us from a little bit of lifelink eventually. Oh, these rune builds, man, they're rough. They're rough. I'm actually surprised. We don't see them often here in normal play mode. Well, we can Meathook for 3 now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Death Touch is huge, guys. It's really good. It's just, we just don't have a bad line of play at all because we can bring back the other Tainted Adversary. And now we can save this as a blocker because if they don't have any enchantments in hand, which when have you ever seen? When have you ever seen a rune deck not have enchantments? Oh, Rune of Might on the Kami of Transience. It already has Trample. I'm surprised they just didn't plug the counter into that and give it to the Reflection. Right? Trade. Oh no, we now know that they're running Tameo Safekeeping in these builds, guys. Oh no. Well, it's not like we don't block. Really good hits for us. They do get the Kami of Transience back. But we get to hit the Tainted Adversary here, which is really powerful for us. We're actually whittling them down right now. Okay, Agadeem's Awakening. It's just a Champion of the Perished. Different mana values, right? But the other Meathook is probably just better, right? Yes, I think so. Crap. Yeah. The second Meathook's probably better. Okay. Okay. So how do we do this? How do we do this, guys? Do we save the Meathook? So weird. I don't know. I think we save the Meathook. I think we do. I would love to see an Invoke Despair off the top here soon. Yeah, we know the other Kami of Transience is coming down, and Meathook can come down for 4 next turn. So we just save our blockers, right? We save our blockers. End turn. This is tough. This is a tough match, but it's a good one. Oh, Showdown of the Scalds. Let's see what they hit here. A land and a creature would be... Yeah, they got the green source for the Jukai Naturalist. And so... Meathook is going to hit pretty strong. Meathook for 4, guys. Meathook for 4. Oh, they're actually just going to do that. Oh. Well, crap. I guess we take 1. Well, now our Meathook looks a lot less spicy. Could also block here. No, yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. So, discarding Agadeem's Awakening is actually, like, maybe it wasn't the play. Okay, Soaring City. Is it gonna be Meathook for 2? Our Champion of the Parish dies. Let's swing with Champion. I think they take the 2. They block? They block. Well, at that point, we can probably just keep Soaring City open, right? I don't know. This is so weird. Like, all of a sudden, I'm playing Zombie Control. They get Kami of Transience back, but, like... Oh, the counters. Yeah, that's going to be an issue, isn't it? That's going to be an issue. Another Showdown. Yes, plug the counter into Reflection. That's good. That's excellent. I don't know if I would have gone Kami of Transience before the other Showdown to plug the extra counters into that instead. Stable the Mirror Breaker. Yes, plug all the counters into that Reflection. Good. Excellent. Okay. Soaring City. This is an awkward one to send back to their hand, but like, we're just trying to like survive. Wait, we could take the 4 and hit everything. Guys, send help. Send help. Like, we really want to hit like these other creatures and stuff. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Just do it. It's so bad to send that back to hand, but... Another land. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah. That's probably it, isn't it? This gets discard. They can plug a bunch of counters into the Shaman. This is awkward. This is very, very awkward. We die because of the 2 Showdowns, so we literally have to go 1, 2. How would you guys have played this one out? How would you guys have played this one? There's no way I did that optimally. I guess if we saved Soaring City and taken the 4, then the Meathook would have done a bit more there. But them not having haste, that's the whole point of playing Meathook that turn, right? Like, they don't have haste. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Oh, they have another one there too. Root of Might. So they probably have a way to give this haste, right? Yeah, there it is. Hey, good game, opponent. Very rough matches against the rune builds, guys. But I mean, I don't know what to expect when you're up against the top of the meta deck like that. Either way, this was a ton of fun, guys. 50% win rate, not too bad, not too shabby. We are in normal play mode, but we did see some meta decks over here for sure. Either way, zombies. Final thoughts. What are my final thoughts on this deck? Invoke Despair is really good. If you can run it in a build, you run it in a build, right? Like if you're majority black mana already, Invoke Despair, yeah, I'd say you at least want one of them, but if you can somehow fit all 4, it's worth it, man. It's just a really powerful card. That being said, if you are running Invoke Despair, you still need a way to get rid of like a board that goes really wide, so you do want to think about Meathook. If you're running Invoke Despair and a black build anyways, then you're thinking Meathook Massacre because the double black, obviously. But yeah, like these cards go hand in hand, I would say, right? Anything else with the build here? I think that the whole concept of just almost like it has a zombie theme, but you're not worried about every creature being a zombie. It just ends up being pretty good, huh? Body Launderer was kind of really good. The problem is it's a 4-drop and 4 mana. Seemed pretty heavy and a build that doesn't ramp very well, where like Shamble Buddy's really the only way to get any like earlier plays off of the Body Launderer. So when you're at turn 4 and you have that 4 mana, more often than not, I would say there's just better stuff to be doing on the board rather than just dropping a Body Launderer, where this seemed to come down on turn 5 or 6 more often than a turn 4. But more testing is required for sure, but this seems like a super spicy card that I definitely want to try out in other builds too, right? Like being able to grab the Headless Rider that game and bring it back was really cool, wasn't it? Anything else to go over here? Geralf was pretty cool. Being able to give everything flying really is as aggressive as you'd think. The problem is most of the time the opponent's builds were just outpacing us. And so again, unfortunately, Geralf being a 3-drop, you'd rather see like a Headless Rider or something on 3, and then you kind of have a surprise later on in the game with the Geralf, give everything that you've established on the board flying. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. Oh, Ebondeath was pretty good, huh? Ebondeath was really good, actually. So I think the 2 of those worked out nicely, too. Soaring City came into play twice, but we still couldn't do anything about the rune builds. They just had too much value for what we were packing at the time, right? Agadeem's Awakening, we didn't get to play, but we thought about it a few times, and it would have been pretty good in those few matches that we did think about it, so... Either way, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.